My wife, Ava, had a habit of turning every argument into a performance. She didn't raise her voice, she didn't need to. Her confidence alone was enough to make any room revolve around her. But the night she stood in the doorway, heels in one hand, glitter on her eyelids, and said, "Don't like it? Then divorce me." Something inside me paused in a way I'd never felt before. She didn't wait for a response. She tossed the line at me like a challenge, like she expected me to crumble or beg or apologize for questioning her choices. The music from her phone echoed through the hallway while she fixed her hair in the mirror, humming like we weren't standing on the edge of something sharp. I had only asked where she was going so late, dressed like she'd stepped out of a nightclub flyer. We hadn't spoken properly in days. She'd been distant, too distant. And every night she claimed she needed space. She came home smelling of smoke, perfume, and someone else's laughter. But this time, instead of giving an excuse, she smirked and threw her words like gasoline on an already dying flame. "I'm heading to the club. Don't wait up." I should have argued. I should have fought back. I should have told her how much her coldness had been eating away at me. But I didn't. I just watched her slip on her heels while her reflection in the mirror avoided mine completely. "Ava," I finally said, my voice steady, "is this really how you want things to be?" She turned slow and dismissive. "Liam, I'm tired of your questions. If you can't handle my life, you know where the door is." She expected anger. She expected desperation. What she didn't expect was silence. 'Cause suddenly I wasn't angry. I wasn't confused. I wasn't hurt. I was simply done pretending we were okay. She seemed irritated that I didn't react. She grabbed her clutch, rolled her eyes dramatically, and walked toward the door, ready to disappear into the night, ready to pretend she was single in all the ways that mattered. But someone else saw everything. Her best friend, Mia, had arrived early to pick her up. She stood behind Ava, frozen, staring at me with an expression that didn't match the excitement of a night out. Concern. Guilt. Something she clearly didn't want Ava to notice. Ava opened the door, confident and careless. But Mia didn't follow her, not right away. She stayed, eyes locked on me, as if she wanted to say something Ava would never allow. Mia didn't speak immediately. She just stood there, shifting from one foot to the other, as if weighing her words against the air between us. Ava laughed lightly, brushing past her like she didn't exist. "Hurry up, Mia, I don't want to be late," she said, checking her reflection one last time. I kept my eyes on Mia, noticing how her hands fidgeted with her phone. She looked torn, like she had a secret she wasn't supposed to reveal, but couldn't stop herself from hinting at. My mind raced, trying to anticipate what that could be. Ava always had control, but something about her friend's hesitation made me realize the control might not be absolute tonight. Finally, Mia spoke, her voice low, almost trembling. "Liam, she shouldn't treat you like this." Ava froze just slightly, and I saw the tension ripple across her perfect composure. Her eyes narrowed. "Mia, seriously, you're imagining things," she said, but the sharpness in her tone betrayed her calm exterior. I swallowed hard, trying to stay grounded. My heart was still hammering from Ava's earlier words, but now I had a new focus. The truth. Mia took a step closer, keeping her voice quiet but firm. "She's crossing lines. You don't have to accept this. Don't let her walk all over you." Ava laughed again, a little higher pitched this time, like a violin note slightly out of tune. "You're overreacting. He's fine. I'm fine. We're fine." But Mia didn't move. Instead, she glanced at me, eyes wide, and whispered just loud enough for me to hear. "I saw the text she sent someone tonight. She's lying, Liam. This isn't just a girls' night out." The air in the hallway seemed to tighten, like someone had pressed a fist around my chest. I didn't need more explanation. I didn't need Mia to say the words again. I knew what that meant. Ava spun toward the door, heels clicking on the wooden floor, her confidence back in place. "Come on, Mia. Don't embarrass me." But Mia didn't move. She just stood there, quiet, letting her eyes bore into Ava's facade. And that's when something inside me shifted. For months I'd tiptoed around Ava's moods, ignored the creeping distance between us, and pretended that her words weren't cutting into me. But tonight, I realized I didn't have to react the way she expected. I took a deep breath, feeling a calmness that surprised me. "Go ahead, Ava," I said quietly, almost gently. "Go have your night." Her heels froze mid-step. She hadn't expected calm. She hadn't expected clarity. She hadn't expected me to answer without anger, without begging, without fear. Ava's eyes widened just slightly, like she was trying to process that I wasn't collapsing at her feet. For a moment, her confident mask faltered. I could see the calculation in her gaze. Does he care? Does he even notice? Mia, standing quietly behind her, gave me a small, almost imperceptible nod. Her eyes said what words couldn't. He sees it. He knows. Ava spun on her heel, attempting to reclaim control. You think you're so calm, huh? You think that changes anything? I shook my head slowly. No. It doesn't change the past. But it does change what happens next. Her lips parted as if to argue, but no sound came out. The silence stretched, thick and heavy, filled with tension that Ava had never felt from me before. She was used to my compliance, my pleading, my excuses. She was used to me bending around her whims. But tonight, I wasn't bending. Mia stepped forward, finally breaking her own restraint. Ava, if you cared about him, you wouldn't have sent that text. You wouldn't be treating your marriage like it's optional. Ava's shoulders stiffened. She glanced at her friend, then back at me. Something flickered in her eyes. Anger, fear, maybe even guilt. She clenched her purse tightly. This isn't your business, she said sharply, but her voice wavered. I took a step closer, calm but deliberate. It is my business, Ava. Our marriage is my business. And tonight I see it clearly, what you're willing to do and who you really think I am. Her lips pressed into a thin line. For a moment she looked small. Not defeated, not yet. But small in the way a mask begins to crack. Mia's gaze softened, but her tone remained firm. David doesn't need permission to protect himself. Don't let her manipulate you into feeling guilty for setting boundaries. Ava's phone buzzed in her hand. She glanced at it, then back at me. Her composure returned quickly, but the fire in her eyes was different now. Less certain, less untouchable. I exhaled slowly. Go ahead. Enjoy your night. But don't expect me to wait for you to decide when our marriage matters, or when it doesn't. She hesitated, then turned toward the door, heels clicking louder than before. But this time the room felt different. Ava knew something had shifted. She knew that whatever game she was playing, it wasn't the same anymore. Mia stayed behind, watching her leave, then finally looked at me. Her face was a mix of relief and caution. She's gone, she said softly. But she won't be the same when she comes back. And for the first time in months I felt a strange peace. Not because she left, but because I hadn't begged, hadn't argued, hadn't lost myself in her chaos. Tonight I had my calm. Tonight I had my clarity. And that was enough.